Okay, so hello all. Today is day 5, and I must say that this is the last day and the final day of today's, right? And we are going to work with the security operation centers today, right? And we will understand that what exactly the security operation center is and how exactly we are going to work with it, right? Now the thing is, I cannot say that this is the final, but there are some of the stages that we will cover today. Okay, and at the last there is something for you guys, those who are interested in cyber security. So I will share some of the inputs related to all of those, right? So let's start. Today's day 5, security operations we are going to cover. And last but not least, I would like to thank you, Let's Upgrade, to do this boot camp live for you guys, right? So today's agenda is, we will do a security operations center, where it is involved, what we are going to cover, what are the key areas, what are the essentials we need to follow while we are working in the SOC field. So this is one of the domains of cyber security or information security, you can say, where all the teams are working simultaneously. Just like there is a security operations center team, alongside there is a network security team, alongside there is the admins team, the system admins team, those who are handling for Windows, those who are handling for Linux systems. Then we also have the network team, then the cloud security team. All these teams are working simultaneously to secure the network, to secure the infrastructure of client or internal networks from attacks, from threats, right? So this is the main agenda, or this is the target of Security Operations Center. We will discuss about Security Operations Center and security roadmap, which might be possible that most of the people are interested in this, right? What is the cybersecurity roadmap? Those guys who are really interested and those guys are really new in this field, right? The day 5 is filled with live examples. I will share some of the screens of SIM tool. We are going to understand what exactly a SIM tool is, type of SIM tools we have, the number of SIM tools we have. Okay, we will understand the logs, how we are ingesting the logs, why those logs are important, how exactly they looks whenever we are going to work into it, and we will understand the operations as well. And believe me, this SOC is my favorite topic to discuss, right? So let's start with this. The first topic again is on your screen is the what exactly the SOC is. So SOC is just like another domain. We have talked about so many domains in of cyber security, just like network security, vulnerability management. We have discussed VAPT and pen testings, all these type of things we have worked. There is something like DFIR as well, incident response, right? Threat hunting, threat intelligence, all these type of jobs. Those who cover the SOC part. Okay, so SOC is a very vast defensive operations. We call it as a defensive operations as well. Okay, the purple team, you can say, right? The red teaming is just like a VAPT team, those who are attacking on the systems just for testing. And this is a defensive side. If any threat is happening, or if we have seen something is going on, okay, within the network or within the infrastructure, so we can see, okay, so this is something is a threat for our infrastructure, so we cannot go ahead with this, and whatever the necessary actions we have to take, we will take to block all the threats within the infrastructure, within the organizations, right? So this is what our target is. So the SOC specifies areas of responsibilities, function categories that the SOC manages. Okay, these domains encompass various aspects of cybersecurity operations and help structure the SOC approach, how exactly the things will work alongside with other technologies and other teams, right? Again, there is a case on which we have talked about the first day, that is like small industry, medium sized industry, then we have a large industries. Okay, so if I talk about the large industries and the medium sized industries, they are already working as a MSSP. Okay, managed security service provider, this is called MSSP. Okay, those who are providing the support to the clients and tackle their security issues and deploying the same tool, deploying the EDR, MDR, XDR, these type of tools we are working on to secure the network, right? What all the tools I just named to you guys, That is somewhat like we are exactly doing all of those. Okay, and we are deploying EDR tools, we are deploying the NDR tools, we are deploying the SIM tools. Okay, after that we are giving the support to the client that we can monitor your network or the, right? There is some of the components which you can see on your screens, that is like threat detection. We have to detect the threats, what exact threats are going on, what all the vulnerabilities we have, then we will go ahead and patch all those vulnerabilities. Then we are there, the SOC team is there to monitor all those type of threats within the organization. Is there anything which is going on related to that vulnerability? So whenever any vulnerability found within the environment, SOC team will get a ticket. Okay, this is a vulnerability we have, right? Then we have to be more conscious about all these type of things, right? Really someone is trying to attack on this particular vulnerability, really someone is trying to find a flaw of it. Okay, so we have to be more secure around this way, and we have to monitor all these type of detections, right? So that is called threat detection. Threat can be anything, right? On the basis of vulnerability, if somebody is trying to get into the system, if somebody is trying to get into the network, so all these type of things we have to cater and work accordingly, right? Then how we will exactly working on it? So we have so many tools, the amount of tools we have. If there is a phishing, then we have email security tools. If there is a threat for the endpoint, then we have a EDR tools. If there is a threat for the networks, then we have the NDR tools. So all these type of things we are creating the managed detections and response and establishing a SIM, right? On at the single, and we can monitor each and everything, which is what exactly is going on. Okay, so we cannot go to different type of tools every minute and detect and do monitoring for other systems, right? Then we have incident response. If anything happens, if any event occurs, if any incident occurs, if any alert occurs, or something else has been happened, so we have to respond that particular incident. What exactly we have to do? What would be the case if we identified brute force? What would be the case if we have identified DOS? What would be the case if we have identified ransomware? Okay, so what will you will do the investigation? What would be your steps? We are designing the SOPs as well, operational processes. Okay, so on the basis of that, on that particular document, we have to gather all the type of things that how we will go ahead and monitor the things and do the incident response inside our environment if we got such type of threats, right? Then we have security monitoring. That is the same thing. This is the 24/7 type of thing. Okay, and 365 days. The team, those who are working within the SOC, then they have to monitor 24 by 7 and 365 days, right? There is a some type of hierarchy between the security operations, just like level 1, level 2, level 3. That is like level 1 people will monitor the console, level 2 people, if there is something which has not been catered by the L1 team member, then the L2 will help them to advance the incident response. Okay, and they will do multiple time of investigations, right, till the time they have identified something. Okay, then if something is really bad going on or some really threat is going on, then they will transfer the ticket to the L3 people, which is level 3. Those who have more experience, more knowledge about the threats, more knowledge about the investigations, they are very good in their work. Okay, so once we transfer those tickets to L3 people, they can work on threat intelligence, they will work on threat hunting, they will identify that whether it is true positive or false positive, whether really there is a threat or not. So all these efforts these guys are working. Okay, so this is the levels which we have set, right? One more or two more hierarchies are still there, so we will talk about those in next slides because those are related to those, right? Then we have vulnerability management. For vulnerability management, we have already talked about that what exactly vulnerability management is, right? So we are managing all the vulnerabilities. If we are identified something, then we have to mitigate all of those to avoid any type of threat, right, or any type of attack. Forensic analysis, this is again a domain within the security operations, right? But this is a bit different department on which the forensic team is working. If something really is happened, then they will work on the devices, they will work on the systems, right? They will work on the operating system, they will work on the network, they will go and identify that what exactly has been. Okay, this is the simple work of forensic analyst. Then we have threat intelligence team, where we are working as an indicator of compromise and indicator of an attack. Separately, I have designed the sheet for IOCs and IOA, right? So we'll work more on that particular side, threat intelligence and threat hunting. Right, operations continuity, that is like all the devices should be in working mode, right? Whatever the assets we have, Windows asset, Linux asset, database. If we are also working on domain side, if we are working on websites, then all the operations should be into running mode. This is our main motto, because we are based out of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, right? Then, apart from this, we have one more question which arises, that is somewhat like why SOC is important. Okay, so this is a question, and most of the people ask this question, that why exactly the SOC is important, why we are into SOC, why we have SIM tools, why we have different type of tools, EDR, XDR, and NDRs, why we have email security tools we have. So there is a simple question that first of all, the SOC, why SOC is important. That is like there is a process or there is an operation which should be going on, right? Now if we are not applying or deploying the security operations center, then how we will be able to understand that what exactly going on within our environment? Nobody else or not an individual can go on different type of devices and they will simply try to understand that what exactly is going on, because there are millions of logs you have to work on a daily basis, okay, and hundreds of alerts you have to work on daily basis per shift, okay. So this is the case. So that is why we are deploying the security operations center, so we can cater all the devices and get the logs, events from other devices too. And on the basis of that, we can deploy the policies, we are deploying the rules, we are deploying the use cases. And after that, if any event occurs or any threat has been happened, right, then on that cases it will trigger an alert, so that we will go ahead and start working over there, right? So this is just like a notification you are getting at a single place, okay, and it is a single pane of glass. The SOC is single pane of glass, right? Now there is a simple components about security operations center, that is like continuous monitoring, centralized visibility, rapid incident investigations, business continuity, right? Continuous monitoring in the sense we are, I already said that we are working into 24/7 mode, and 365 days we are working. It is not closed on holidays. This is not a case. Okay, so we have to monitor all these security issues if we have. Okay, then we have a centralized visibility. That is the case that we are fetching all the logs, all the events at a centralized place on clouds, collectors, right? So we have to work on all these type of logs, and there is a centralized system. From that centralized system, we are monitoring all the logs and events with the SIM. Okay, so that particular thing is sending all the logs to the SIM tool, and according to that, we are working accordingly. Then different tools are also there, EDR and MDR, XDR. Then from that case, we are also getting the detections and working on the SIM tool. This is how we are exactly working, and this is the very simple hierarchy which we are following within the SOC. Okay, then we have the rapid incident investigations. So if we have triggered with an alert, we have got an alert, right? Or we have got an event incident, right? Investigations. Then we have to work on all of those. For an example, I can tell you, somebody is trying to scanning your port. Okay, all these type of things I already told you in the network security, right? Like I am doing the NS lookup on Google. Okay, so Google must have get that this particular type of log or the traffic within their environment, that I am doing something from this IP, I am doing something. Okay, so that is the same case that they are also getting the alerts. The SOC team also getting the alerts, right? So that is just like if it is raised, then they must have blocked that. We do not know that what type of IP it is. Okay, what is the IP address of this? Okay, and we this is not really known for us. This is not really known for our environment, so we have to block it. So these type of steps we have to take. First of all, we have to understand that what exactly we are going to do, right? Then we have business continuity. Again, the business continuity is dependent on confidentiality, integrity, and with availability, right? So that should be go on. Then we have if organization wide collaboration. As I told you that most of the teams are working into it, the forensic team, threat hunting team, Windows and Linux team, network team. This is the organization wide collaboration on which we are working, right? Then we are also working with the compliance management. Is everything going fine? whether people are working on the alerts simultaneously or not, how many alerts we have closed, how many alerts we have tackled, why we have closed, why we have not closed, if it is in progress, then why it is in progress, what is going on within the environment. On monthly basis and on quarterly basis, we have to create this report, which called it as compliance management. Okay, and we have to get that whether the devices are working fine, whether the company communication is okay. So all these type of things comes under the compliance management, right? Then again, we if we are into the security operations centers, then we also have to work on one of the other side, which is just like into the hierarchy after L3, which is just like SIM admins and SIM engineers, those who are working on cost effectiveness, right? If they are targeting any type of devices, if they are getting any type of events from other sources, then they have to work on it, and it should be cost effective. They have to make, so this is a challenge, you can say, to make the security options cost effective. Okay, at the time we are fetching the logs and we are working with the logs. Okay, so there is a visible example I have in the next slides for you guys, right? So if you have understood this one, then please let me know. Okay, and if you have any doubt, then you can also ask in the chat. I will answer all of those questions, right? Now also tell me that you guys can also tell me those who are really working in the SOC or interested in the SOC, you can also ping in the chat, right? Now moving ahead, we have security tools, right? This is the favorite part of the security operations center people, that what exactly tools we have. Right now we are not working on the legacy side of security or a SOC, you can say. Legacy side in the sense we have single tools, we just have SIM tools and we are monitoring over there. Each and every device is sending the logs, we are creating the use cases, and on the basis of those use cases we are working on alerts and investigations. No, this is not a case. As of now we are working into SOC 2.0. There is a SOC 2.0 where we have multiple devices. For email security, if I talk about, then for that we have multiple type of email security tools. Microsoft is also providing the Office 365 for these type of particular things, whether any threat is going on, the applications threat are going on. So for that, the email security tools. Then if I talk about the NDR, then NDR is totally dependent on network detection and response. That is like it is only focused on the networks. You have to deploy this particular tool. Then it will monitor the traffic is coming inside and going outside. Okay, if any threat has been detected, just like for an example, if any SQL injection has been detected, right? Then there are rules and policies which have already been created. Now this particular tool will get the detections to you. Okay, so this is the basic hierarchy, or this is the basic functionality of NDR and other tools with the help of SIM, right? So this is exactly what we are doing within the SOC, right? So NDR will give the detections to the SIM people, those who are working on a SIM, those who are monitoring all of those. Then on the basis of that, we will get an alert and we go and monitor all those type of things. So we will monitor that what exactly going on within the environment, right? So this is SOC 2.0. We have multiple devices. Then there is on your screen is EDR and EPP. There is a bit difference between EDR and EPP. I would like to tell you those as well. EDR in the sense just like endpoint detection and response. Okay. Then we have EPP as like endpoint protection. Okay. So EDR is more advanced than EPP. Okay. EPP is just connected with the devices, the PCs, mobile phones, and the other end systems if we have, right? Then on the basis of that, EPP is just fetching the logs, okay, and those logs it is transferring to the SIM tool, right? So this is the main working model of EPP. It is not giving any type of detections, right? We are not creating any type of rules over there. We are not working on the policies, right? It is just fetching the logs. If it is behavior continuity, then it will show as into the behavior. If it is phishing, then it will show into the phishing policies. If there is something which is going on from internal threat, then it will mark it as internal threat. Then afterwards you have to create the alert on the same tool, then you will be able to work on the alerts. But this is completely different from the EDR side, endpoint detection and response. That is just like EDR is completely working on the endpoint detections, where in the name you can see that it is giving you the detections. Okay, whatever the policies are going on, we have created the rules, we have created the policies within the EDR, right? And from that basis, EDR is capturing the data. Then it is matching that what exactly is going on if the policies have been created and the rules have been created, right? I have created a rule or I have enabled the rule for SQL injection, XSS, WAF, network, anything, right? Then it will match all of those. Then it will simply transfer all the detections towards you. Okay, so this is what I have identified. This is what you have. For an example, we have Microsoft Defender for endpoint. So what endpoint is exactly doing? You do not have to create any type of rules within your Microsoft Sentinel. Okay, then it is just getting with the detections and it is just fetching you the details. Okay, this is what happened and this is what Microsoft Defender for endpoint has been detected. Now you have to work according, right? So this is the basic difference between EDR and right? Then we have XDR, which is extended detection and response. Extended detection is response is the advanced version of EDR, where we are also working on the processes. If there is some processes going on, if there is a ransomware going on, so we can simply within a one click we can mark down any of the devices as isolation. Okay, so these type of advanced versions we have with it with the tools we can do. Okay, so you just know do not need to log in on the devices, right? You just need to no need to go there, because if it is already a ransomware, right? Now ransomware has been hit, now you will also go and log into that particular devices, then might be possible it will uh, cause your devices, right? So your might device also get affected related to that particular ransomware or some malware, if I talk about, right? Then that is why we have the XDR, extended detection in response from the XDR tools. There are so many XDR tools, and Microsoft Defender is also providing the XDR tools. So from there you can isolate your system, you can take the action on processes, you can stop all those processes which are gone for the malicious website, malicious content. Okay, so you can monitor all of those. Also those type of logs or the events you can get into the SIM tool as well. So there is a complete infrastructure which they have made. Okay, there is a complete ecosystem. Now the SOC 2.0 is focusing on. Okay, then there is a thing which is a backbone again for Security Operations Center, which is a SIM. Okay, so SIM, you can say the SIM has been introduced just like 5 or 6 years ago. Okay, where we were working. Okay, and the SIM tools have been introduced. Now there are so many SIM tools, but there were one SIM tool which was IBM QRadar when we were working on it, right? So that is just like each and everything which is going within your environment within the other tool, you are getting all of the things at one place. I will show you, no issues. Okay, now there is a email security tool which I just talked about, then vulnerability management tools as well, just like nesses we talked about. Okay, so most of the companies or organizations are already using the vulnerability management tools as nesses. Okay, so this is the functionality which SIM exactly performing. Collect data from the sources. If we have different sources, devices, user data, Active Directory, LDAP, right? So from all those sources, the SIM is collecting the data, right? Then we have aggregate the data to identify which type of data we need. We are only focusing on security data and the audit data. Okay, if any other activities are going on, then we do not have, because those are not relatable to us. Okay, otherwise it will affect our cost, right? Then discover and detect the threats. This is again that the alerts on which we are working on, the policies, rules we are working on. So that is on the basis of that to discover and detect the threats on that which you can run the investigations for, right? Then we have identify breaches and investigate the alerts. So once you have aggregated the data, you are working on the detect the threats. Once it is detected, the detections you have got, then you need to identify the breaches if it is really happened, or you need to investigate for another. I will show you that as well. Right now, the thing is, I would like to show you something. Okay, one by one, not exactly, right? First of all, I would like to show the SolarWinds again, but with more suitable examples, right? That day we have only understand the live logs, how we are getting, but today we will understand more uh, about how we are getting the logs and all, right? How it is fetching the log and what all the difference between all of those, right? So the architecture we will also understand, no issues. So this is one of the sim tool, one of the sim tool on which we are working as of now, and this is the SolarWinds SEM tool. Okay, so this is how it is looks alike. Okay, and this is the dashboard. Okay, so dashboard is again an important part within the same tool, where you can see you are also getting the node health, right? Node health, in the sense, these are the applications which we are running, the IP address we have, the servers we have, the endpoints we have. So where how they are performing within the network, right? Whether we are getting the heartbeat or not. Heartbeat in the sense, not a human heartbeat, there is a system heartbeat. Okay, whether that ping is receiving or not, whether the server is up or not, after every minute or every 2 minutes it is pinging that system, or it is checking that whether the heartbeat is running or not. If there is no heartbeat for 1 minute or 2 minutes, then it will generate an alert. Okay, this server is down. Okay, so this is how security team is working. Why the server is down? Might be possible there is a threat. Okay, so all these type of things we have to work on and troubleshoot. Right. This is node health. Then we have all events in last 12 hours. We have to create the reports, just like daily report, monthly report, weekly report. On in that work, on these type of reports, we have to work with the events, how much events we have exactly detected with right? Then all the events which you have last 12 hours, and how many incidents you have, just like maximum you have got around not just 7K, it is just around 6.5K events in just 12 hours it has got, right? Then all events by event type, how much events have been triggered, right? So that is somewhat like user logon failed, might be possible any user was trying to log on and the user logon was failed. Okay, so this is how you will get the dashboards, and these are the dashboard which we are really creating for one part of threat hunting and threat intelligence, if I say. Okay, so if we are working on threat intelligence or if we are working on threat hunting, then exactly we have to work on the threat hunting side, and we have to identify what exactly is going on within the environment from our SIM tool. So SIM tool is giving you the complete example and the sides of what exactly is going on within the environment, right? So this is what you can see, and this is really, it is look like the same one. Okay, the user logon by the user, particular user. So you here you will be able to see the users. Okay, how many times they were trying to do the logons, how many times they have performed the logons. Okay, and you will get the complete count of it. Then logon failures by user, logon failure by source machine, these type of dashboards we are creating into, and this is really helping us. EPS is the important part within the dashboard, which is just like event per second. Okay, last hour it is telling you. So 8 EPS as of now per second we are getting 8 events, or the eight events per second we are getting. Okay, so it is refreshing after every minute. Okay, automatically till the time it is getting the logs, getting the events, it is automatically refreshing. I'm not doing anything. Right now we have the main and the crucial part, which is just like live events which we are getting from different devices. I would like to show you one architecture. First of all, I would like to stop this live. Okay, now understand this. This is again an important part to work into the security operations. Okay, now we have suppose this is the SIM tool. Okay, any SIM tool. I'm not just taking the name. Any SIM tool. Okay, SolarWinds, Microsoft Sentinel, or Splunk. We have the functionality is same for all. There is no difference between all of those, right? So this is one of the SIM tool. Now we have multiple type of devices. Just like this is the Windows device. This is the Linux device. Please ignore my drawing. I'm not good in that. Okay. This is the Windows device. This Linux device. Now we have firewall again. Okay, we have so many routers within the organization. We have the other type of devices, the switches we have. Okay, so for an example, these type of devices we have within the organization, and this is the organization which you have. Okay, or you can say this is the client side. So remote servers we have the client side. Okay, now from this we are fetching all the logs. This log is going to one of the collector. Okay, suppose there is a case, one of the collector where we are storing the data. Okay, from this particular collector, because SIM has no functionality to store the logs. It is just working on real time. Okay, so from this, the SIM tool is connected with this. Okay, if anything really happens and if it is getting the logs from there, the events have been occurred, then it will simply trigger an alert. Okay, so this is what all the devices are connected with us. This is the simple hierarchy and simple architecture for this. Right now, I will go back to that particular SIM tool again. Okay, this is SolarWinds. Now live are going on 1065. Okay, so come down. We have the security events. Okay, what type of security events we are getting? Okay, TCP port scan. Somebody is trying to scan our TCP ports. Okay, now from which IP they are trying to do, from this IP they are trying to do. Okay, so the security events from other devices, Windows devices or Linux devices we are getting. Okay, now we have the firewall events as well. So the firewall, where we have deployed checkpoint firewall, we have deployed FortiGate firewall, whatever we have deployed, right? So all these things we are also getting within the SIM tool. Here is the example on your screens, right? So it is also giving you the details, what type of details you are getting, whether it is denied or not. So the attempt to connect to an inside address denied by the security policy. There is a security policy which we have created on the firewall. Okay. So on the basis of that, it is taking the actions, and all the actions, activity, events it is performing, it is showing to your SIM. So it will help you into the investigation side as well. Okay. Then we have the control list, web traffic if we have, okay, proxy bypass if we have, there is nothing, okay, IDS and IPS which we talked about on network security, right? So we have this intrusion detection system logs. We have already worked intrusion detections logs, right? And this one, remote information we are getting. So many other logs we are also getting, and this is how you are getting the details about what exactly going on in the system. Right, then we have what exactly we have some more interesting things I would like to show you. This is also giving you the error events. Okay, it is now not collecting as of now, but it also collects these type of logs. So this is how it is differentiating all of the logs within the system itself. Okay, we are not doing anything. This is just an architecture of this particular tool. So if anybody is working on the USB file auditing, or somebody is changing the files or something, then it will also trigger an alert. Okay, user account change, some user has been logged on the system, any of the system, not on a particular system, any of the system. So this is how you will get. So we have to work on these particular messages. Okay, we have to read this particular, right? And I will increase the size of it for you guys, right? So this is how we are exactly working on it. Okay, and we have to read this particular message to understand that what exactly is going on. Okay, if I go ahead, then we have remote users logons. How many users logged on remotely? So this is also working on these type of logs as well. Logging, who logged in? This is the username which is logged in. Okay, and destination IP is from this. Then what exactly is going on? Okay, and the source machine is this. That means this is the outsider. Failed logins we have, workstation logins we have. Okay, and this is how we are working with tools. Okay. Now, the thing is, this is SolarWinds. Now, I would like to show you one more thing. The crucial part about it, that you need, if you want to configure any type of node or any type of endpoint, then you can do it from here. If you want to manage the connectors, then you can manage the connectors as well. Basically, this is just for the deployment of a SIM tool, from where you deploy all these type of SIM tools, right? Event groups, if you want to manage, and these type of things we are really working. This is the main side of a SIM tool where we are creating the rules. Okay, so inside a rule, these are the already created rules we have. If you want to create a rule, then there is a rule template which you can work on, and these are the enabled If I click on this, then this will disable it, but it is already enabled and it is already getting all the logs from there. So here you can see audit failure with restricted information interface. Okay, and then this will trigger if the live event will trigger in the system from this particular overview section, right? So this is how these two things are working simultaneously on SolarWinds. This is just an example of SolarWinds, right? Now, if I would like to show you one more thing, let me work on it. Where is that? Okay. Now, this is what I have, and I would like to show you one more interesting tool which we have, which is Splunk. Okay, so guys, let me know those who have worked in on Splunk or those who are really working in Splunk. Okay, just ping in the chat, so it will be good that we will understand that how many people are working within this Splunk, right? So let me zoom it out. Okay, let me out. Okay. As of now, I downloaded this Splunk tool, but I am working on this Splunk tool. Basically, I monitor all my networks and all the other devices, what is going on exactly within my network and with my devices. I monitor with the Splunk tool. So right now we are working on deployment on this, right? But I will do it surely, right? And this is what a Splunk tool. This is the enterprise version. This is the free version which I have. Okay, I'm using a free version. Okay, then all the things we can work, we can monitor the stuff. Okay, whatever the devices we have, then we are working on the forwarding and receiving. Splunk is working on indexer side. Okay, so whatever the devices are sending the logs, then it will index all those type of indexing is just like inside Splunk. The indexing is working is just like you can understand. You are creating the indexes at the front page of your notebook, right? The topic is on that page. This topic is on that page. So this is the same thing. You guys have already seen the Excel part as well. Okay, so how we are exactly working with the Excel. So if we have this much money came from this means any type of details which you are getting, so the indexing is working on the same side, right? Then we have to configure the receiving side. If any devices send data, I will tell you in a simple manner or a layman term, right? That how exactly we are working and how exactly I'm telling you. Suppose this is one of the firewall. In a layman term, I will not go deep. Okay, just I will give you the layman term example. Okay, so this is the firewall. Suppose this is the forwarder I have. So two type of forwarders we are working on, that is like universal forwarder and the heavyweight forwarder. So I will apply the universal forwarder here. There are so many other types as well to forward the logs, but I will use the forwarding. So suppose Splunk tool here. Okay, now this Splunk tool is really working over here. But if the forwarder is ready, that doesn't mean that Splunk will ready to receive the log or the events. No, this is not a case. Right. So we have to configure the receiver, then it will start working on it. Just like you are calling your friend, then if he or she has no uh, mobile phone, then how you will call him? You will call from your side, but he or she is not carrying the mobile phone, then how you will contact? Okay, so this is the same case. This is just an example for you. Okay, now we have to configure it. Okay, forwarder we have to configure, then receiver we have to configure, then after that it will start working on it and it will start receiving the logs. Okay, come to the topic, and here we have new receiver. This is how we will configure on the port number. This is on something, this is working on by default. Right now, if I am going backend, then I would like to show you a part of indexing, that how Splunk indexing is really working. One of the example I gave you. Okay, so this is the search area of Splunk. Then if I write index is equals to audit. Okay, now I want to identify the audit logs over here. So you will be able to see that how exactly it will work. Right now, if I'm going up here, last 1 hour window, what happened to my system? Okay, I would like to see that what exactly happened to my system. Okay, 61,000 events I have. It is really good. Nice. Yeah, okay, so I just paused it. So here you will be able to see the logs. Okay, this is how we are get logs, and this is just an example of how we are fetching the logs, how we are getting the logs. According to the logs, according to the events we are getting, then we are creating the rules over there. Okay, and then we are creating the rules. If that rule has been triggered, then we are creating the incident for that. Okay, so this is just an example that how we are getting the log. But first of all, you have to understand that what exactly it is. So I am calling the index is equals to within the string audit index I am calling. So what type of data is there within the audit index? So it will fetch all the data. So you can see up all the strings. Okay, so it has fetched all the data. What the data is there within the audit index, right? So it is just working like this. Splunk server. What is the Splunk server? As I already told you that I deployed it on my system. So this is my system name DND. What is the index name? Audit. Whether it is working with information, it is also getting audit trail. It is the search action just run, so it is going to be giving me the Splunk audit logs. Okay. So there is a big type of thing which is still going on in the backend and results, right? So this is one of example of these Splunk tools which we have. Now this is this Splunk and also inside, right? Now which we have is if I close this, I will give you one more example. This is a very good tool, and this is my favorite tool. I am working on it, right? If you guys know it, and if you guys have really worked on Microsoft Azure Sentinel, then let me know in the comment section, right, or in the live chat section that you guys have already worked on it. Okay, I told tell you is the Sentinel buying the system for Microsoft Azure Sentinel. So this is the console of Microsoft Azure Sentinel, and these are the functions which you are getting from Microsoft Sentinel. So you can create SQL databases, you can create Azure, Cosmos DB, the virtual machines. This is a functionality of a SIM tools from where you can create the virtual machine, you can create the load balancer, you can create the storage account, blob storage, file storage, table storage, all these type of things you can create. Virtual network, you can also do net NSG groups, you can create network security groups from where you can work on the network securities as well. You can work on groups, you can create the rules, you can create the policies for your network. Okay, what traffic will be denied, what port number will be denied. So all these type of things work from simultaneously from this. Okay, so you can also create resources and users, right? Now this is one thing. Now I would like to show you the log part, that how we are exactly working on the KQL side, right? So this is a table over the Sentinel, and if we are fetching any type of logs, then how exactly we are working on the log side. So this is giving you the Azure Active Directory. This is the table name I have, and if I'm giving it over a limit, then this is how we are fetching the data. Okay, if this has the data, then it will surely fetch the data. No issues. Okay, so this is the environment. No data for last 24 hours. Let's try for 7 days if we have. I do not know whether it has the data or not. Okay, it has the data. Right. So this is how we are working on Microsoft Sentinel, and Microsoft Sentinel is again a good product which we are using as a SIM tool, and this is a cloud native SIM which we are working on. Okay, so that is it for the SIM tools. These type of SIM tools we are working on. Okay, and this is a part of a simple. One more thing I have which left to show you guys, for which we are working on threat intelligence and threat hunting. Okay, so this is threat intelligence and threat hunting. For threat intelligence, we are working on IUCs and IOA. That is somewhat like indicator of compromise and indicator of attack, which will focus on tactic, techniques, and procedures. So if we want to know the tactic, techniques, and procedure, there is a particular framework, Twitter attack framework. I would like to show you that particular framework. Okay, so that is my attack framework, I think. Yeah, this one. MITRE attack framework working with all the technique, tactics, and procedure to identify that what exactly happened, how the attackers are performing an attack, okay, which type of systems are performing. If this happened, then which type of attack is going on. So there is a complete list of technique, tactic, and procedure. This one is for reconnaissance. If active scanning is going on, that will come under this reconnaissance. So basically, in layman term, the MITRE attack is associated with all the SIM tools, all the SIM tool as of now. Okay, anything happens, so we can detect all the such type of things with the help of MITRE attack. If we have the predefined rules or we are creating the rules, then it will simply get all the things with the MITRE attack framework, and it will tell us that is this a privilege escalation, is a credential access, on the basis of events and logs which are going on within your system. Okay, so we are working on technique, tactic, and procedure. Technique, which means what technique attackers have been applied to attack on it. Tactics, what all the tactics at that moment means, how to apply the malicious file, to put the malicious file on the system, what type of things they did. Okay, and procedure is called what exact complete procedures they have followed, which they have created and followed to put the malicious file within your system. So guys, please let me know those who have worked on the MITRE attack framework or those who know about the MITRE attack framework, right? So this is what MITRE attack framework is, and we are really associated with the MITRE attack framework. So we are really working with the MITRE attack framework. This is a very important functions we have in the SIM tool and the security operations centers, right? Then the one is it MITRE framework for technique, tactics, and procedure, which is working within the threat intelligence. And if we have IOCs, now I would like to tell you about the IOC, indicator of compromise. That is like from which domain it has happened. If, for an example, ransomware has been happened, now this will continue at IOCs as how this has happened, means how the ransomware attack has happened. What was the exact communication? What was the exact CNC? Command and control has been happened, at which domain it has happened, whether it was a dark web, whether is there any telegram or whatever the systems we have, right? Then we have inside the IOCs, we have domain name, we have the IP addresses associated with that particular attack. For an example, the ransomware has been happened, okay, in a layman term. Now that ransomware has been happened from which IP? From which IP we can see the traffic. So that is the list of the IP addresses. Which domain it was continuing for, that list I have. From which domains and the email addresses you have got the phishing email, if there is any. There is a list of phishing emails as well. There is a file of what if there is a file of hash files, right? If there is a malicious file which is there, then threat hunters will identify all of these files. Then there is a hash value of a particular file. Then we also have a details of hash values within the IOC, indicator of compromise. So this is how exactly we are working on it, and we can simply block all these IOCs on daily basis or on monthly basis. We are doing threat intelligence, right? Then threat hunting is proactively search for identify potential threat organization. This is not okay. So this is exactly what we're doing. Threat hunting we are doing on daily basis. If we have identified any such type of threats, if we have identified the system, okay, if we have identified the cause, then we can simply commit with the systems as well, and we can identify, okay, this is exactly what is on within the environment. We will create a report, threat hunting CTI report, then we will fetch that and create, okay, so this is exactly we are going on. What would be the next step we have to take? Okay, so this is threat intelligence and threat hunting. So if you guys have any questions related to this or anything or so, please let me know. Okay, and I will try to answer all of those. Now we are about to end this session, but there is one more interesting thing for you guys, which I wanted to discuss with you, which is a important topic to discuss if you are working on cyber security, right? The cyber security roadmap. Okay, what is the cyber security roadmap? If those guys who are new with cyber security or information security, then how they will go ahead and work in cyber security domain. So there is a simple example. If you want to work as a VAPT, okay, vulnerability assessment pen testing, then how you will go over there. So simply there is a certificate, which is a CEH certificate, okay, provided by EC Council, Certified Ethical Hacker. So you can go that direction, then you will get a certificate as a CEH. Okay, after that you have to brush up your skills. Okay, how exactly the web servers are working, how exactly the communications are if you want to work on a network. Okay, then you have to understand that how exactly the websites are working with each other, what is the backend architecture of those. After understanding of this, then you will go ahead with the web architectures. And if you want to work with the mobile application testing, then you have to understand how exactly the mobiles are working. Then on the basis of that, then we have multiple type of certificates if we have, right? So you can go for EJPT, okay, which is junior pen testing, OSCP, which is very much popular certificate, but it is also not easy to crack it. Okay, so this is a type of VAPT roadmap if we have. If I talk about SOC, then again for SOC, because the CEH is no for all. Okay, if you are going on for the CEH, then you can work within the VAPT. You can, as a junior, you can start the VAPT if you have the working knowledge of bug bouncing and all. Okay. Then if I talk about the SOC, the CEH is again necessary because CEH is giving you the complete knowledge about the cyber security. Okay. After that, you can do the EC Council course or certificate you can get from the EC Council. Okay. Then again for the SOC. Okay. Then after that, the roadmap. If you are starting as an L1, then you can try for L2, L3 incident response certificate. You can gain again from the EC Council. Okay. Then if you want to go into the DFIR, EC Council is again providing the DFIR certificate as well. Okay, then the forensic is again different. Then EC Council is also providing the threat hunting certificate. You can learn for that. And if you want to create a career as a threat hunter, you can also create all of this. Okay, so this is just like a cybersecurity roadmap, and this is very vast. Okay, I cannot say I cannot discuss each and everything in just meantime, but this cybersecurity roadmap is much vast. Okay, so we are also designing these type of roadmaps. Okay, so how you can get into the cyber security and all these type of things. So we are working on that side as well. All right, so whatever the certificates you have got from the EC Council, let me know in the live comment sections. Okay, today was the last day but not a least. Okay, so we will come up with the new boot camps or the new webinars for you guys. Today is the final day, right? And that was nice to talking to you, and this was nice to share my knowledge with you guys, whatever I have bettered within the time frame. Okay, thank you all for joining this session once again, and appreciate your time and efforts. Thank you all.